Hey everybody, it's Shana here from Girlfriend's Guide to Network Marketing. Happy Tuesday. Coming at you a little bit early because today we do have the goal setting workshop at 2 p.m., the webinar. So if you're not on that webinar, I will post a link here below after I'm done so you can jump on. I'm doing a webinar on how to make 2018 sparkle with accomplishments. So if you're just joining me here right now, I'd love to hear from you. Who's joining me here today and who's going to be on the webinar today also. And my husband might actually post a link for that if he gets a chance to while we're watching. So welcome everybody. Today I want to talk to you guys. This is a question that came into me from the Girlfriend's Guide Facebook page about samples. Hi Naomi. About working with samples, and so I'm just going to give you my tips and tricks on working with samples. Now, some of you may not be in a company that has samples. I specifically am in a company that does have samples, so if you are in a company that deals with sample packs of any kind, hopefully you'll find some of this advice helpful today. So hi Eliza. So first and foremost, if you do have samples within your company that you can share with people to create awareness about your product, your business, first and foremost, as I say, I carry samples with me all the time. So wherever I'm going, I have little packages that I've made up that have our main product lines in them. Not everything that we own sample-wise, you guys, be specific with your packets that you make up. Your main lines, the top performers, you may have specific samples for specific types of people. So you can create those packs based on, if you have something for men, if you have something for children, if you're a nutrition line, if you have, sports nutrition or specific stuff for weight loss, don't have sample packs that have everything in your catalog because it can be overwhelming for people when they're trying their stuff, right? So I like to keep it very simple unless somebody has specifically requested more than one thing. But the ones I carry around with me are, basic ones that aren't super overwhelming. And in those packages, I put the main product that I'm sampling, my business card, and I usually put some information also about the business opportunity in there. So a lot of times our companies are great and they actually create this information for us so we can either just print them out off our printers or order them from your back office, however it is that works for you. But I make sure that those pieces are in my packages. And then I just buy these little plastic sleeves from a company called Uline. I don't know if that's a company that everybody can order from, but it's where I order them from. And I can just tuck all the information in there and seal it up. And it keeps everything nice and clean and neat and tidy, because the last thing you want to do is be reaching around inside your purse or your bag and pull out a sample that's all torn and tattered and, got stuff on it. And, that's not a very professional way when you're talking to somebody to hand over something that looks like that. So try and keep them in something that keeps them really neat and clean. So that's first and foremost. And second of all, I label everything that I have when I'm handing out samples with a little mailing label that I make up on Vistaprint. You can even make them up at home that has my information, my contact information. Because here's the thing, you can be out at a market somewhere and strike up an awesome conversation with somebody, and it leads to your business, and they've never heard of you before. So you say, hey, would you like to try it? And they say, absolutely, yes. And you give them that package, and you get their information, and all is good and well, and they get home and they're like, I'm not trying this. And then they give it to their neighbor, who gives it to their best friend, who gives it to their brother, and their brother finally ends up trying it and loves it. And then if it's not labeled with your information, they are going to just go online and find the next best person to get it from. But if it has your information on it, there's a better chance that they're going to come back to you if they want to, order more of that stuff. So really be serious with your samples, you guys, because these sample packs can lead you to your next business partner, and they can really help grow your business. So making sure it's labeled properly, looks professional, is nice and clean, and you keep them with you at all times. So next tip, you guys, is I don't just give samples to anybody. When I'm out and about, especially if they're not willing to give me their information, because at the end of the day, you guys, these things cost us money. They are a business expense. So if you just give them to anybody and you're not getting their information to follow up with, you're basically throwing money out the window. Even if they love the samples, there is still a chance that they are not going to call you. How many times have you guys tried something, a sample pack of some sort in your lifetime, liked it, but never followed up with that person? I actually was prospected by a woman at a hair salon who gave me samples for the company that I am with now I tried the samples. I was actually even going to go online and order some product from her, but I didn't. And she never followed up with me, you guys. And I ended up joining that same company with somebody else who did give me samples and did follow up with me. So you guys, it's super important to make sure that you get the information and you do the follow-up with these samples, because you never know where this could lead you to, right? So making sure that when you give out the samples, you've created a conversation with that person, that you've asked them some questions, you've found a bit of a need, especially if they've never heard of you before or heard of your company before, then of course that's an open door to say, if you've never heard from, would you like to try it? And, if I gave you some stuff, would you be open to trying it? And to get yourself to that place in a conversation where you're just meeting somebody at a grocery store and you're starting up a conversation, just literally reach into your pocket and reach out your hand and say, oh, by the way, my name is Shayna, and hand them your business card. I guarantee you, one look at your card, they're going to ask you, oh, what is the so-and-so? What do you do? And that's going to open up the conversation where you're going to be able to say, oh, you've never heard of us before. Oh, well, this is what we do. If I gave you some stuff to try, would you be open to trying it, right? So it can be as simple as that. Once you give them an opportunity to take your samples, here's what you're going to say is, once you say, if they say, no, I've never tried it, just say, oh, awesome. I would love to be able to give you some stuff to try. If I gave you this pack, would you be able to give me your info so I can follow up? Because I want to make sure that, one, you're using it properly. And two, I want to make sure that you're, using it the right way so you can get all the benefits. And I'd love to hear how you're enjoying it. If I give you this, could you give me somewhere I could follow up with you? And one of the best ways that I've been finding is to just, I say, are you on Facebook? And I open up my phone and I hand them my phone and I just say, are you on Facebook? And I hand them my phone before I hand them the samples. And they are like, yeah, absolutely I am. And they find themselves and they send themselves a friend request through my phone. And now we're connected on Facebook, and that's a great platform for me to be able to do some follow-up, as well as, now we're friends on Facebook. They get to see my lifestyle, what I've been dripping on my Facebook page, my personal brand that I've been putting out there, and they're creating more curiosity and interest in what it is that I do, right? So Facebook is a great way to connect with people, to be able to do your follow-up when you do hand out a sample pack. So asking them to connect on Facebook, because and when you're asking for their information, because I know sometimes that can be the scary part, right? Give me a thumbs up if that's the scary part of handing out samples. Everybody has no problem going, hey, you want to try my stuff? It's when you say, hey, do you want to try my stuff? But can I get your number so I can do the follow-up? You guys, think of it as it's about them when you're asking for their information. You want to make sure they're okay with the samples, that they're enjoying their experience, that they don't have any questions about it, that they're using it properly, that they were able to follow the instructions okay. Especially, if your samples are a bit more complicated, it's about, making it about them, which is why you want to follow up. It's not about you. It's not about trying to get a sale. It's about making sure that they're having a positive experience with the sample. So when you flip the mindset around why you're asking for their information and making it about them and not about you, it makes it a lot more, for me anyways, it makes it a lot easier for me to ask them for that info, or to hand them my phone and say, hey, let's connect on Facebook. That'll be a great place where I can send you some info and some more information about it if you need that. So Maria says this has been such a challenge. So she finally did it properly this past weekend. That's awesome, Maria. And once you do it and you realize it's not so scary, and they actually give you your information, or they actually connect with you on Facebook, then it's easy. Now you just kind of keep going with it, right? So asking them about being friends on Facebook. And then once you do follow up with them, some tips on when you do actually make that connection with them. So I usually give them 24-ish hours to start with their package. If I am friends with them on Facebook, I will send them a message right away saying, hey, Sarah, it was great to meet you in the market today. I hope you enjoy your samples tonight. I'll follow up with you tomorrow just to make sure everything's going okay. Because once you send that private message, it tells Facebook especially, if that's how you're getting their follow-up info, that you guys are friends, and that you're going to start seeing her stuff in your Facebook feed sooner, and she's going to see your stuff in the news feed as well, because it's showing that you guys are friends. That's just an outside tip. But one of the things I'm going to ask once I've given her some time with the product is I'm going to say, tell me what you loved the most. I'm not going to say, so what did you think? We don't want to know what they think. We want to ask them positive, open-ended questions. So tell me, what did you love the most about what you tried? What did you notice? What was the first thing you noticed about it? what was the first thing that if it's a skincare, what is the first thing you noticed about your skin? If it was a nutrition product, what was the first thing that you noticed about how you felt after? Or, tell me what you loved about, how did it taste? What did you love the most about the actual thing? So asking them a positive, open-ended question. And then once you get some feedback and some dialogue going back and forth about what they love the most, just say, you can use this as an Eric Worre thing. If I shared information, if I shared with you the details of how you could maximize on some of the discount options we have with our company, would you want to hear more? Because initially you gave them the sample because they hadn't tried it. They didn't say yes or no they were going to be buying anything yet. You're asking them if you gave them some more info on how they could work with your company, would they want to know more? Most likely, if they're loving it, they're going to say yes. And of course, I always start with the business opportunity. Start with what it is that you want, like what the best thing, which is the business. That's the best thing we have to offer, right? So you can share with them how that works. Say, you know what, I'm like you. I started this because I loved my sample pack, and here's what I chose to do and why. And give them a small little bit on what that piece means to you and why you chose that. And then you can give them, options if you want to, if they're not interested in having that, the business at this point. The next thing is if you have some sort of a hosting program where they can invite some friends, because now you want to meet their network. If they're not interested in joining the business at this point, that's okay. But at least see if you can, give them some more discounts and options by them having a group presentation, if that's what you do within your company. And then you can not only work with them, but work with their networks as well, right? That's the next best thing. And then after that, of course, is your discount programs and then becoming a client of yours and shopping just as a client. So just kind of moving them through that. But, that's kind of my sort of, top to bottom of a sample pack is making sure it's properly labeled, making sure that they're nice and clean. You've got some good information in there. They know how to follow up with you, that you're connecting with them on Facebook or getting their text info or however, whatever is best for them to be able to connect with you. But I find Facebook to be the best because then you get to connect and show them other things about your life, and then asking them what is it that they love the most about what they tried, and transitioning them from, if I shared more information with you, would you want to hear more? And then moving them through your funneling system, whatever that may be. So Ashley, I hope that helps. That was a great question. So thank you so much for asking me that. You guys, you can always ask me questions in my messenger on this page. I love getting questions because it gives me ideas for topics here on Girlfriend's Guide. But I also wanted to remind you guys that today at 2 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, I will be doing a webinar on how to make 2018 sparkle with accomplishments. I've got 5 steps for doing goal setting for 2018 that I'm going to be working with you guys on. If you haven't registered for that yet, my husband's going to post a link in the comments so you can register for that. We'll be live at 2 p.m. today, and we'll be live at 8 p.m. as well, Eastern Standard Time. So I'm doing 2 of them today. So Naomi says, what about people you give samples to and follow up with them but never hear back from them? You know what? I give them like a 2 or 3 time, hey, I don't know if you got my message. Not sure if you saw my message above. Hey, I'm going to check in one last time about that sample pack. But you guys, we are not in the business of chasing people. Sometimes we will give out a sample and never hear from them again. And that's just sometimes the way the cookie crumbles. You know what? Not everybody's going to be yes. Not everybody's going to be excited, but it's a numbers game. The more people we can get these samples out to, get their information and follow up with, there will be some that obviously like it and will say yes. But if after 2 or 3 times of me reaching out, maybe 4 times, maybe 5, if I really think there's potential there. But other than that, I am not chasing people. I will leave it in their court because that's not the job that I do. So I hope that helps, Naomi. So I hope to see you guys on the webinar. I'm really excited. I got lots of notes. I'm really excited to share with you guys all this info. Make sure you download the workbook. It's in the email you get when you register. Really excited for you guys. So I'll see you guys at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on the webinar, or 8 p.m. if that's the time you're joining me. And I look forward to seeing you there. Bye, everybody. I hope that helps. Have a great afternoon. Stay warm. It's snowy and cold here in Ontario. Talk to you soon. Bye for now.